to the first point about SaaS.
I think that is a really good point to make. And because there are, like, I can think of one really big company, #Adobe, who uses the term SaaS very incorrectly. So let me define something else before I define SaaS. I'm going to define subscription-based pricing. Subscription-based pricing is, I would like to use this software product, Adobe Illustrator, some software product like that you're going to want to run on your laptop or a server or a desktop in your physical environment. You're going to download this piece of software. I want this thing. I don't want to pay $1,000 for it right now, but what I am willing to do is to pay $50 a month forever. And what I will get is the updated versions of that software as they come out with it. So I will, as they come out with Adobe Illustrator 12.0, I will get the latest and greatest, but I need to download that software and reinstall it so that I can upgrade my local installation. I'm running this software on my hardware. That is the key. I'm either running it on my hardware or I'm running it on hardware that I'm renting. So you can download Oracle and put Oracle in a server in AWS or Azure or GCP. And you could pay Oracle $1,000 a month per server. By the way, I literally have no idea what Oracle costs. I just made up a number. It's probably more than that.
It's more than that.
Yeah. So you pay them $1,000 a month.
But you're managing this hardware that
you're managing the server, you're managing the software. Yep.
You're managing the operating system as well. In addition
to installing the application. Everything. The only thing you're doing is you're paying for it differently. That is different. That is not SaaS. This is one of these Curtis obsesses over the meaning of words.
It's important though, because I think a lot of people do get it confused.
It is true. A lot of people, including competitors of Druva, that refer to their subscription-based pricing as SaaS. They are wrong. That is not SaaS. It sounds like it. It's software as a service. No, it's subscription-based pricing. That's all it is. You're just paying for it differently. That's all it is. Nothing about the software has changed. Okay? That's subscription-based pricing. Then there is SaaS. And SaaS is, to me, super easy to define. It's everything we didn't just define. And that is, it is not running on your hardware. You are not responsible for the application behind the thing you're doing. You are only responsible for telling the application to do what it is supposed to do. And my example would be Microsoft 365. If you don't understand the difference between Exchange and paying for Exchange $1,000 a month, and by the way, in Curtis world, everything costs $1,000 a month, except for a Tesla, which I recently found out costs more than that. But $1,000 a month for Exchange that's running on your server, and Microsoft 365, where you're paying $5 a user times however many users you're using. We're using a SaaS app right now to record this podcast. You work for a company that has a SaaS app that allows people to communicate together. I work for a company that has a SaaS app that allows people to back up data from all over the place. That's a SaaS app where I think the number one thing is that you are not responsible for managing any of the infrastructure. Includes 365,
and you're not managing the application either. Like you're not installing updates for the application. So that's why
it's not really important. You're not installing updates.
Yeah. You just are using it. You always get the latest and greatest. You don't have to worry about anything else.
And I would argue that a proper SaaS application that consumes storage, and let's face it, they all consume storage, you also are not worried about that storage. Yep. You are not managing volumes. You're not worried about the fact, I created this 10 terabyte file system and I'm getting close to filling it up. I need to go make another one or expand the one I have.
Yep.
If you're doing anything that seems like that's not SaaS.
Yep. Capacity management, all that stuff. Now, I know there will be people who say, by the way, even with some of the SaaS companies, I still install a piece of software on my laptop. Doesn't that make it not SaaS? And I argue that is not. Yes, you do install a piece, but depending on how the SaaS application is and other pieces, like the core functionality, you are not managing at all.
Right. Well, to go back to your G Suite analogy, G Suite is clearly SaaS, but you can put a G Drive syncing piece on your laptop and synchronize G Drive
Yep.
to your laptop. That doesn't make G Drive not SaaS. The core infrastructure, it's the infrastructure because that's where all the pain is. I would also argue a good SaaS product should help you upgrade that thing that's running on your
Yep.
laptop automatically,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
You should not be having to manage
Having to
that.
manually. Yep.
Does that seem
I think that seems like a good
I think
definition for SaaS.